Good morning. This is Jeff Dawson from an absolutely stunning, sunny morning, 60 degrees in Dallas, Texas. Last week I did a deal on rankings in the NCAA and how ridiculous it is, and I talked about my team, Oklahoma State, of which they didn't disappoint me this weekend as they hosted the Texas Longhorns in what was a real battle for the top spot in the Big 12, -2. And OSU did what I thought they would. Remember, they were ranked number 6, and I railed about that they are not a number 6 team. Can't say I was disappointed that they lost. When you have 4 turnovers, I'm reminded of when Mora coached the Colts and Peyton had like 4 or 6 interceptions in a game, and the reporters asked more about playoffs, and he about lost his mind. Playoffs? No, ain't no damn playoffs this year. So OSU loses in overtime, and anybody could see on the last play when it was 4th down and OSU had to get a first down or score, the game was over. And Texas did what we all did in backyard football. We called a red dog blitz, and everybody came across the line. It was a given. You could see it coming. And I don't know of any play you could have called. A draw, a screen. Hell, I hope I'm right and just throw the ball up in the air. But in the end, I mean, Sanders played good. This is his first year as a starter. I understand that. But you can't have 4 turnovers. And Chuba Hubbard just got shut down. I mean, all the hype about him, yeah, they're keying off of him, but great runners find a way to have a great game no matter how good the defense is. Well, enough of that. So I went to look at the rankings, and yes, OSU fell to 14th. No surprise. That's about where they belong. That's about as good as it's going to get. And that's not bad. But, number 3 is Ohio State with a whopping 2-0 record. And they're number 3. Then you have, let's see, Wisconsin is number 10. Well, they're 1-0. Oregon is 12, and they haven't played a damn game. Indiana is 2-0 at 13. USC is number 20, and guess how many games they have played? 0. Michigan is 1-1. This is nuts. Oh, Boise State, let's not forget them at 21, is 2-0. Well, I look at this like I did the World Series All-Star game between the Rays and the Dodgers. The Dodgers finally win a World Series in umpteen years and only played 37% of a regular season. That is not a World Series to me. You didn't go the distance, and, COVID aside, we're just going to play, 1, because we need the money, and 2, because it is what we're paid to do, so show up and go to work. So anybody who's going to put any weight in the rankings this year for college football really needs to check themselves. How can a team that's 2-0 be compared to Clemson that is 7-0? Well, you can't. Notre Dame is 6-0. All these teams that haven't played as many games should be unranked. Bowl games this year, if they're going to have them, how can you have a national championship when you're not comparing apples to oranges? It makes 0 sense to me. This is all skewed. This is all a bunch of crap. And if you're not going to play the full schedule like everyone else who decided to get on board at the beginning of the season, then I'm sorry, but there won't be a bowl bid for you because we don't have a good sampling of how good your team is. I mean, look at this. You can't compare it, just like you can't compare the Dodgers World Series win to all of those teams that came before them because they played a pitiful schedule. Hell, the minor leagues played more than that. I'm trying to do a quick percentage, and I seem to be challenged this morning. So right now, Ohio State has played 28% fewer games. Yet you want to say they're number 3 in the nation? What are the sports writers smoking? Have they nothing else to do? Can't the NCAA get together and say, okay, if you want to rank them, that's fine, but when it all comes down at the end of the season for the championship games in divisions like the Big Ten and the SEC, if you didn't play the same amount of games, guess what? You aren't eligible. Now, that would be the right thing to do, but in today's political correctness climate, well, that's not going to happen. Oh, it might hurt their feelings. Well, too damn bad. Maybe if they'd have signed up at the beginning and said, hell be damned, we're going to play football this year and let the cards fall where they may, we'd be right there with the rest of them. We'd have played 6 or 7 games. But I know that's not going to happen. Because, one, obviously, as I discussed last week, there's a shitload of money at stake here. So they got to play. But it doesn't mean they have to be ranked, and it doesn't mean they have to be bowl eligible. In a sense, if they will lose that revenue, it will just too damn bad. You know, you should have signed up. You should have gotten with the program, but you wanted to sit on the sidelines, twiddle your thumbs, make all your grandeur statements, and in the end, it achieved nothing. So I'm just saying, if we have the bowl games, if we have the BCS crap, that's not the best way to go, or whatever they're calling it today. I lost track of it a long time ago because they muddied the water and really just don't give two shits. But you're not comparing apples to apples. You're giving extreme favoritism. I mean, just imagine for a moment Oregon and USC, who have not played one game. What are they eligible for? They're going to be ranked. But how many wins can they actually get? I don't see the Pac-10 getting their crap together. If they can't get it together, you're out. You're not going to be ranked. You're not eligible for anything. You can't even go to the Tiddlywinks competition this year. You might be better at the cornhole competition. Maybe you can score there. Maybe you'll show up. Maybe you'll feel safe. Really, I don't care. But I'm just letting you know, you are not comparing apples to apples. You're not going to play the same amount of games. You have a hell of an advantage because you aren't playing the same amount of games. Thus, your chances of injury have dropped dramatically for key players. So I don't think they should be even in the running for any type of ball game because it's not a level playing field. And does OSU belong at number 14? Absolutely. I have no problem with that. That's about where they're at. They are not a top 5 team. They're not a top 10 team. Top 20, I said that last week. I'll say it again. Yes, they are a top 20 team. But if they don't figure out a way to play better, on the 21st of November, OU is going to throttle them like they haven't been beaten in a long time. I watched them dismantle Texas Tech, and that was but ugly. as bad as OU has played this year, I did not see them coming out and ripping Tech and U one, but they left no doubt in Lubbock that they are still in the race for this. All right, well, that's my rant for Monday morning. It's time to do my walk and get back to work. And when I come up with something intelligent and awe-inspiring to stimulate your brain stems, I'll be back. Until then, have a good day.